welcome back to Desertwood Days. And I am here with the lovely Alnisia Cruz. Welcome.
Hi, thank you, Kathy. I'm so excited to be here.
So,
Thank you so much for
such
this
a
opportunity.
such a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Miss Alnisia, tell us who Notaries Club is.
Great question. Notaries Club is my daughter's name. I started the business when I retired from the modeling industry myself, and I was pregnant, and I decided I wanted to do something, and I realized I wanted to give back in the modeling industry. And I was pregnant, so I named it Natori after my daughter.
Love that. Beautiful name.
Thank you.
Beautiful name. That would happen to be my first question. But when did you start in the modeling industry and what inspired that?
Great question. I started when I was 2 years old with my mom. We were at that time living in New Jersey, in Newark, New Jersey, and going past this department store, which was named Gimbel's, which was the prior Macy's.
Oh,
And they was doing a catalog shoot outside, and she's like, oh, I would love for my daughter to be involved.
oh.
And I did a shoot, and it led from other catalogs onto different covers and magazines. And when I
I
was,
loved mothers back there. They
oh,
weren't
I
they
know,
weren't shy at all.
they weren't.
I
They
mean,
had your back. And
yeah.
leave my daughter alone and don't do this. I know. I loved them. They were really, back then with everything, everyone was always supportive of what you did. It
Yeah.
wasn't everyone trying to get ahead of anyone. And so she was really my manager, you
Oh.
know. And so then I went on to do other things, and I modeled until I was an adult.
Oh.
And I had the opportunity to be with three major national modeling agencies in New York. And it was really for glamour and print.
Yeah.
I actually did a fit and showroom where I had the opportunity to model little Victoria's Secret stuff, which was
Okay
great.
now.
And then once I retired, I was pregnant to start a family, and I wanted to start a business. And modeling was what I
It's
knew.
a perfect business to start.
And so I started when I was pregnant to do workshops.
Oh.
And my workshops consist of, so I've seen so many things go on with the 3 decades that I was in the industry. And I wanted to help out. I wanted
So you
to,
want to take all that you had learned and pour it into other young ladies.
correct,
I
yes.
love that. I
Other
love that.
parents, young
Yeah.
ladies, anyone that was interested in learning about the industry. Because, as you know, in entertainment and modeling, it's a stereotype.
Do you
People,
find yourself um, pouring more into the parents?
yes. I started the agency with babies and children, so I always kept it in the age range of my daughter for some crazy reason. When she got to be a teenager, it was teenager college, etc. But yes, it started with parents,
Mm-hmm.
because I feel that in every family there's someone that says, "Oh my gosh, they should be on TV. Look
Right.
at that personality." As much as people shy away from it, but they are very interested. But
Right.
they don't know the protocol, the tools. They don't know enough about
That's
the industry,
true.
so they don't pursue it. And then you have a lot of other entities out there that charges a lot of money or do different things that may sway them away from it. So
Right.
I figured I would help to educate people, and I did my research back then, and no one had done that yet. It was
So, do you consider yourself an advocate for the for models?
absolutely. Yes, I do. I've been teaching this against a lot of agencies and different organizations are telling me, why do you want to teach the
Mm.
models everything that you know?
Why wouldn't you?
Exactly, especially when I'm representing them. And I guess me being a model first, I'm always looking out for the models,
Right.
the parents, and
Right.
I'm not trying to be over anyone. I'm humble enough that I just want to teach what I've learned
Sure.
and
And
give
and
back.
I totally get that because being a plus size model and working with other models, I totally get that. It's not about being over because you know what, humbly, I always wanted to share what I knew. I mean, to the point, to my fault, that sometimes it bites you in the butt because you want to share and people take advantage, or you give too much. And that is one of the things that I experienced because I'm still out here working in the industry also. So my coaches were getting mad at me because I'm giving away too much instead of doing what I needed to do for Kathy Blaze.
Mm-hmm.
So I totally give it that. Being who you are, working in the industry, you want to give and help others.
Yes. And just to tap a deeply further into that, one of the areas that I've learned about the modeling industry from my observation in the years that I've been in is 80%, and statistically, a lot of models have low self-esteem. They think because we're on this big picture,
Mm,
we're so perfect on the cover of a magazine, but we have everyone is not perfect. I mean, if you have to get out there every
mm,
day and be on stage and worry about you're going
right,
to get replaced or the
right.
competition, then go home and unzip yourself and hang
Mm,
yourself in the closet. And
mm,
who are you really, or even so many things out there for so many reasons.
right.
And so I'm a big advocate of empowering people within the industry. So
Of
that's why I show
course.
them what I learned and
Of
know.
course. And I feel like my purpose, and I'm sure you do too, is to give back and to inspire and empower others to do better.
Hmm.
That is one thing. I don't know. One of the models that I used to follow, she spoke about that same thing you just talked about, the low self esteem and trying to fit into a size two or whatever, but her body frame should have been a size eight, and how she damaged her body and her to a point where her hair was falling out and she was just really sick.
Hmm.
But there wasn't an Alnisia around to tell her that it's okay. You
Hmm.
can be who you are.
Yes.
So I really applaud you for what you're doing.
Thank you so much.
So, with all that being said, what is it about this industry that keeps you there?
That is a great question. I've been doing this for over 30 plus years, and I think it's the adrenaline to, of course, to see your face on magazines and covers. I mean, I did so much more. I used to bring in lots and lots of money a year. I mean,
Mm,
it's a very lucrative industry. You get to meet some great people. It's fun and exciting. But I think what keeps me in it is that every day I have the opportunity to give back. Every day I
mm.
have the opportunity to teach someone what I know. This one guy says to me, "Why should I come to your workshops? I can Google it." I said, "Well, you don't even know the questions to ask. And are they going to come back with 30 years experience? Google hasn't even been, computers wasn't even out then, Susie. So it's like,
Are you gonna know what question to Google?
right, exactly. But I think, I don't know, it's one of those things. I think every industry has that
Mm,
knack that keeps you there. It just becomes
yeah.
part of your soul, your spirit. And I believe that it is definitely my calling. And
Oh,
I have so many other things that I'm getting ready to do too. So I'm excited about
wonderful.
it. Yeah.
So, Miss Natori, was she one of your models?
Yes, that's a great question. So my poor little Notori, she couldn't help it. She's been modeling from day one. We've
Oh.
taken a model with fit pregnancy when she was in my belly. We've been on the covers. She's been on several covers. I mean, she's Miss 5'9.5", 120
Mm,
pounds of just pure, you know, who she is, Natori,
mm.
and I love her. But when she turned 18, she says, "Mom, that's it. You know, I want to be behind the scenes." And as much as she's shy away from this industry, she's a big fashion advocate.
Right.
She's at 23, she does assistant buying merchandising. She
Mm.
has her master's in
And that's
fashion.
okay because
Yep.
Notori is being who she's meant to be. She's following her passion. Notori was created, Notori is a brand. that you created for that person inside of you.
Mhm.
So now the Ms. Natori is out there doing her thing and being who she's supposed to be, and let her follow her dreams now. That's
Yes.
what's going on. Now mom done did what she had to do.
Yeah, I try to convince myself of that all the time. But you know, being a parent, you know, it just, but I have to let go. But I'm glad that she's very strong in the fashion
That's
industry
good.
too. So I'm
So is she
excited.
working locally here in the fashion industry?
Yes, she is. She is working for one of the major designers and national chains,
Okay.
and she creates designs that are coming out in 2022 now.
Okay.
So she can't get away from it as
Right.
much as she
Well,
try.
you know what? It's not that about getting away. She's doing her own thing now. She's aligned with doing what she needs to be doing. This is
Yes.
what's going on. So, with Notori creating designs, is that helping you in your area? Are you utilizing her designs in what you're doing in your industry with your models?
No, and let me back it up. I guess not necessarily creating designs as a designer. She's not that, but she's in kind of the merchandising buying where they
Okay.
create the trends that's going to
Oh,
come out
okay.
for the designers for the
Got you.
following year. But no, she is totally separate. She chooses to be that way. And one day, hopefully, she would get involved. But if she was sitting here right now, she says, whatever my mom has, I have her back and I love her and she's going to be
Wonderful.
good. She wanted me to tell you hi.
Oh, tell her I said hello.
Okay, thank you. And yeah, so I don't know. I sometimes think about changing the name because it seems
Hmm.
like a kid agency, but it's such a brand now. I do my workshops, you know, all over. And
Right,
so, and I have my
right.
agency and I also have books.
Wonderful. So, Miss Alnisia, how long have you been here in Arizona?
Great question. I've been here 11 years. Prior to this, I was in Las Vegas for 9,
Okay.
and I'm originally from Manhattan, New
Oh,
Jersey,
I
and
hear
New
that
York.
accent.
Oh.
Okay, well, we welcome you here in Arizona. Happy to have you here.
Thank you.
So, you brought some media for us to take a look at today. Notaries Club.
Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. A few of them. One of them I think that you may show. It's just at a day-to-day workshop where I teach my clients and models and individuals the business etiquette of modeling,
Okay.
strategies to be successful in the industry, and everything they need to know about pay, agency relations, client
Mm,
expectations,
okay.
agreements, pay. And then we also have a professional runway guy who is going to show some steps. So,
Okay. First, what's going on right here in this picture here? This lovely lady in red.
uh, just one of those days. I think it was like a year ago or so. One of my photographers asked me to do a photo shoot.
Okay.
I'm like, believe me, I do not have it. I'm not doing it. Those days are over. And I took a few shots, and I kind of it came out pretty good.
Yes, love that
Yeah,
red.
yeah. Thank you very much. Yeah. So that was that. But I do have, if you want any of the pictures that I've modeled in the past.
Okay.
Yeah. So next time.
Love that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Some Mr. Shimeon.
Yes.
Yes. So does he help you with teaching some of your workshops?
Yes, he used to teach all the modeling and walkway, runway
Okay.
style. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we know that he's a local celebrity.
Yes, he
Yes,
is.
he's been in the modeling industry for quite a while and
Yes.
traveled abroad and did a lot of things in his
hmm
time in the industry. So that's awesome.
I'm honored. He is always there, photo shoots or teaching a runway at whatever it takes.
So
So,
you know what? I mean, just seeing someone like that, we know that everything that you're talking about, they're going to get the skills that they need because I mean, this is a legitimate agency.
yes.
You can tell from that.
Thank you.
So the workshop that you were holding, is that something, I mean, is it according to our age range or do you separate the models according to age range?
Wow, that is a great, great question. I was just talking about that this morning. Um, it was previously and currently kind of for models that want to be with the agency
Mm.
specifically. So you have to be part of the agency to be able to go to the workshop because I don't want people come there and share the
Uh,
information. But now I'm going to open it to the public.
okay.
I also been asked to teach a children class workshop.
Oh,
So I'm going to do that for high schoolers and do a fashion show with it and throw in some etiquette and self esteem and self confidence
oh,
in it as well. So I'm meeting with them today,
okay.
actually. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So but yeah, it's really for anyone. I mean, if they're under 15 years of age, then the parents can come and learn. I mean, you leave out of there knowing how to run your own modeling agency, basically.
Wonderful. You know, I love that you continue to say mention the parents because we live in the era that we have to monitor our children.
hmm
I mean, because a lot of the work and things that you see is done over social media and to this media where kids are vulnerable. So I
Yes.
love that you are training the parents
hmm
of what to look for, what they need to know about these industries, because there's been too
Exactly.
many times that young people are gone to meet people alone or something has happened that inappropriate.
hmm
So I love that you are stressing training the parent.
Exactly. And on top of that, with our agency, being that the age range is kind of from 14 to 24, and we have a couple that are a little
Mm.
older, the parents come to every shoot.
Mm.
They love it. I haven't seen my child in a while, or the younger ones, they drive
Yeah.
them there until they become 18, 19. But I'm a parent.
Mm-hmm.
So parents come first.
Yeah.
So I love that. And I teach them everything. They call me if they have a question. They already know to their child or the model, no, don't do this. You wasn't supposed to do that. I had this one parent call me the other day, and the child was not in the agency anymore. And they said, we need them to get some discipline and to
Um,
get back on track. Can they be with your agency again? I'm like,
mm.
do they want a model? Well, they said they listen to you, and we need them to be listening to the right things to do in social media, communication, school, and
Right,
we teach
right,
that as well.
right. I
hmm
mean, you're just an extended arm of the parent to teaching these children these things.
Absolutely.
One thing that I always stressed working with models, my models, is that, I teach you the professional way of modeling, not what you see on social media, not what you see on Instagram or whatever. You're going to learn the professional way of modeling.
hmm
Do you with your models, are you starting at that level where you're you're working with them as if they're professionals already?
Absolutely.
and
And
and that's
yeah.
because social media can be a deceiving, because you have so many people that think they're talent agents or model coaches. they're
Instagram
tr-
models.
yes, and they're
hmm
trying to train these models on how to be a model.
hmm
That's just like, I mean, the what did my grandpa used to call them,
Wannabes.
those car mechanics? I forgot what he used to call them. They want to work on your car, but they've never taken out a starter or whatever. But we see
hmm
a lot of that. We see a lot of that, and we're not, and we see it a lot of it locally. Is that what are you looking to be? Are you looking to be just this local model that are just walking on anybody's runway that and there's nothing professional about it? I mean, what type of model are you looking to be?
That is such a great, wonderful question. I just did a round table, and I don't know if we have time to get into it, but it was a lot local, but
Mm-hmm.
quite a few people from the industry, makeup
Mm-hmm.
artists, photographers, designers, agents, etc. And I just did a workshop there, and they asked me to join in. And they were all talking about how they need to make more money so the model can be more professional on Instagram. And so, because that's the big thing now, and
Mm-hmm.
not to get into all the details, but I said, they said, "What do you feel?" I said, "I disagree." I said, "Where's the client in this?
Mm-hmm.
Where is the professional way to walk and talk
Mm-hmm.
and how to be represented and who you want to be represented by and get paid for it?" I didn't hear any of those things in there.
Mm-hmm.
And so those are some of the things I teach at my workshop. And even with modeling and runway, as you see, we had the professional who does it. And when he's not there, I teach it as well to be professional. But it's really important to go to the workshop and to understand your business. And I tell people just one last thing, and I'm not a shallow person, but I just have not to be biased. But I say, hey, you can see 500 models out there. There can only be 10 of mine, and you know which 10 are mine
Mm-hmm.
because they
Yeah.
come with confidence, self-esteem, professionalism, and they're all certified
Well, if
and
you don't
ABC.
believe that, why would they believe it? So you have to
Exactly.
believe that.
Yes. Yeah.
You definitely have to believe that.
Yes.
And those models are representing your brand.
Yes.
That is one thing I've always stressed that anyone that's representing my brand, I'm going to know it. They need to know it. So they're representing Natori out there. So
Mm-hmm.
of course those 10 are going to walk out there in confidence because you've trained them.
Yes. And they take that and not just apply it in the modeling world with my agency. They apply it with everyday life.
And everyday life.
Mm-hmm.
So where can our audience find you?
You can find my website at www.natorisclub.com. That's Natoris, or Instagram at NATORIS_CLUB, or 602-698-8440.
It was a
Thank you.
pleasure having you here today.
It's a pleasure.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Kathy, and hugs to you.
Yes.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Nice seeing
And
you.
I look forward to more from the
Let me
Notaries
show
Club.
you your gifts
Oh,
now.
thank you. And
Yes.
the bag is so pretty.
Thank you.
I'm going to open it later, okay?
Open it later. Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here today at Desertwood Days. We will catch you next time.
As a young girl, I just grew to love using power tools, pouring concrete, and doing things that were scary and loud, and yet I looked around and realized no other girls are doing these things. As I grew up, I realized that girls need to see themselves in this space. Start here. So that's what I set out to do, and I became an educator and a mentor for young girls.
No masks down till clear.
Making teaches girls how to think of their ideas as important.
Go light.
It changes the way they think about what they're capable of. If I can fuse metal, what can't I do?
Perfect. Look at how good that was.
And so I think making for girls is about voice, and that's what's really exciting because we're building the world we want to see for ourselves. Now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org.
Sign up for free to become a VetTixer and start creating new happy memories that will last a lifetime. Go to vettix.org to become a member now. VetTix. Give something to those who gave.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.